A special weather statement is in effect. The freezing rain warning has ended, but Environment Canada says you need to watch out for strong winds. Good afternoon. This is CTV News at 5. I'm Patricia Bowl. Steph is off this evening. The freezing rainstorm is behind us, and Ottawa seems to have been spared the worst of it. But Environment Canada is warning our messy mix of winter is still here, with strong winds possible tonight, bringing the chance we could still see some power outages. CTV's Kimberly Johnson joins us live in studio with more on this. Kimberly.
That's right, Patricia. We're still seeing that special weather statement. And that's because we could be seeing high winds this evening into tonight, reaching 70 kilometers per hour. But that ice buildup that residents woke up to this morning, that could continue to cause problems. A layer of ice covered vehicles and especially residential roads and sidewalks. In the end, Environment Canada says we saw just under 18 millimeters of freezing rain and rain. It saw residents scraping out early this morning.
It's so bad. Sidewalks are slippery, but kind of walk very slowly, very like a bit like I'm skating. So I was able to survive.
It's like our street is a little deadly, but then once you get on to kind of the main arteries, it's a little better. So it just depends on where you're heading or where you're walking.
The orange warning for that freezing rainstorm was lifted around 11 this morning, but we're not out of it just yet. Those high winds and the ice buildup could bring issues this evening, like power outages, according to Environment Canada. So officials warn that we should continue to be cautious. The city says it's full crews working into tonight on the cleanup. But city officials say that if you're heading out tomorrow, to just continue to be aware that there could be those icy conditions continuing. Patricia.
Especially as you're walking, right? It's shuffle, 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 because you don't want to hit those patches unaware. Yeah. All right. Thank you. CTV's Kimberly Johnson live for us tonight. Well, the tumultuous weather conditions not just impacting the capital region. Heavy winds, freezing rain, and more snow on the way for many areas in this part of the country. Holiday travel taking a hit today, with people still in transit between Christmas and New Year's. Impacted cities include Montreal and Toronto. Out at the airport, there have been dozens of delays, and Via Rail is warning passengers trains could be off schedule due to ice buildup on the tracks.
Well, it was delayed for a day, and I'm heading to Moscow.
We're planning to fly to Los Angeles for the break, and both our flights have been delayed. So first, the one going to Toronto, delayed over an hour.
They told me the flight is delayed, and now I'm still waiting.
Passengers are strongly encouraged to check their flight status before heading to the airport, and Via Rail is advising you do the same for train travel. Well, the NHL also feeling the impact of both mechanical issues and the weather.
Front, Georgia Spitz, blocked, rebound, scores. Spitz.
The Ottawa Senators have pushed back the start of their final home game of 2025 because their opponents had travel trouble and faced multiple flight delays. The Sens were supposed to play the Columbus Blue Jackets at the Canadian Tire Centre at 7 p.m. The team now says puck drop will happen at 7:30. The team touched down just before 4 o'clock. And the GM for the Sens says goaltender Linus Ullmark will be taking a leave of absence for personal reasons, saying Linus has the full support of our organization during this time. Out of respect to him, we will not be making any further comments. The 32-year-old was pulled from Saturday night's game against the Leafs. Ullmark is in his second season with the Sens after he was acquired from the Bruins in 2024. The Swedish goaltender has started 28 games for the Senators this season, including 14 wins and a shutout. Well, Ontario Provincial Police are reminding drivers the dangers of removing your airbags after a driver involved in a crash on the 417 made an unconventional change to their steering wheel. Emergency crews responded to a single vehicle crash on the Queensway near the Vanier Parkway just after 6 a.m. this morning. OPP posting these photos to social media showing a damaged wooden steering wheel in the vehicle. Police said the driver, who also was not wearing his seatbelt, suffered minor injuries after his head struck the wooden steering wheel. Police add, while it is illegal to remove your airbags from the vehicle, in this case, the officers decided to use their discretion over pressing any charges against the driver. Ottawa firefighters say luckily no residents were displaced due to flooding at a long-term care facility over the weekend. Initially, crews thought the response would require evacuation. However, residents of Carlton Lodge were able to stay at the facility when beds were sent in from Peter D. Clark. Both long-term care homes are run by the City of Ottawa. The call came in around 2:30 Saturday afternoon for reports of a large water leak on the second floor of Carlton Lodge near Prince of Wales and Woodruff. It caused flooding in some of the rooms on the first floor. Well, at one point, skating into the history books as the largest hockey tournament on the planet, Bell Capital Cup is now celebrating 25 years of bringing young players from around the world to play right here in Ottawa. CTV's Dylan Dyson joins us live with more on day 2 of the tournament. Dylan.
Yeah, that's right, Patricia. Teams from Kazakhstan, Hong Kong, South Korea, and Japan were just some of the international teams that took to the ice on day 2 of the Bell Capital Cup. Organizers say there is a total of 284 teams competing in this year's tournament, roughly 200 from Canada, 50 from the United States, and the rest, well, from every corner of the globe. Now, word of mouth is the main factor that attracts new teams from a variety of hockey-playing countries, according to organizers, and it's the experience of a lifetime for those kids that play that keep those teams coming back. And while hockey has the title of Canada's game, many of these teams travel to Ottawa with the expectation of competing and winning.
Our goal is to be in the final. With the organization, we want to play in the main arena. So the finals are played in the Ottawa Senators Arena, and we want to bring our team, our organization, to that arena for more people to see us.
It's not as difficult as I would expect it, but of course there are good teams here.
Oh, we are better than USA and Canada.
Thousands of games are being played across the city now through December 31st, with the division finals being played at the Canadian Tire Centre. Pretty exciting stuff for those kids competing in that tournament. Patricia.
I like the confidence from those kids as well, Dylan. Thank you. CTV's Dylan Dyson live for us tonight.
Today they've become more, how should I say that, more technical about things.
Coming up on CTV News at 5, the city reflects on more than 15 years with the green bin in use, how the program has put an environmental spin on waste that staffers say should make Ottawa proud. We want to check the conditions out there for you. So we do sit at the freezing mark. There is a wind and it will worsen. I don't know why we're not seeing that wind chill. Maybe we're just a little too warm. There you go. Down to -1. Now you're seeing the impact of that wind chill, feeling more like -9. A few flurries out there through the evening and into tomorrow as well, as we take a look at temperatures around the region with what it is and what it feels like with the wind. And the wind is going to continue to be an issue for us overnight. Certainly an issue in other areas too, where you're seeing some really extreme snow squalls. As we take a look at what you need to know, you can still take in the magic of lights at Wesley Clover Parks until January 3rd. The drive-through experience goes nightly between 5 and 9 p.m. Saw a huge lineup there last night. You want to get there early. It has been known for being a huge draw, often causing traffic to be backed up. As we take a look at the roads tonight, so we did not have the greatest conditions on the roads for your morning or afternoon commute, but the good news is very light volume out there. Many people still taking the day off and in holiday mode. So as long as you slow down, you should be okay getting out to the Canadian Tire Centre or wherever you are going tonight. Well, when it comes to trash talk, the City of Ottawa is marking an important milestone.
I think back in the day, everything went out as garbage, right?
Yeah.
But today they've become more, how should I say that, more technical about things.
It has been over 15 years since green bins have been put to the curb in the city. The program was introduced in January 2010 rather, in an effort to divert tons of residential organic waste from going into the city's landfill. According to the city, more than 87,000 tons of curbside organic waste was collected last year.
And I think people would be surprised to know that things like cotton balls and dryer lint, barbecue ash, paper towel, food soiled pizza boxes, there's a long list of things that can go into the program. And so by keeping organics out of the landfill, we're really helping with our greenhouse gas emissions reductions.
The city says in 2026 there will be a new green bin campaign, and results of a recent curbside study will be released, which gauge how many people are using the bin. All items have been filed on Gateway. And yes, so they will file that information for you to take a look at when that survey is complete. It has been a whirlwind year in provincial politics with a rare winter election, the ongoing trade war with the U.S. and opposition parties trying to find their footing under a third majority PC government. CTV's Queen's Park Bureau Chief Siobhan Morris sat down with NDP leader Marit Stiles to look back at what Stiles calls a surprising year.
Look, I'm fed up.
The NDP leader's exasperation loud as the year wound down.
It is the endless grift of a anti-democratic and, yes, corrupt government.
An accusation out of bounds in parliamentary debate, enough to get Marit Stiles kicked out of the legislature.
All right, let's go.
She's been trying to make noise after a rough ride in a winter election called early.
Well, yeah, it was a tough one, no question.
New Democrats had less than 19% of all the votes cast, but with enough seats to form the official opposition. At the party's convention in September, a sobering moment for Stiles, receiving only 68% support in a review of her leadership.
We need to make change in this party.
Shaking up her team with the new chief of staff who's worked with NDP premiers in Alberta and Manitoba.
She's helped defeat conservative governments, and that's our intention here.
That hill is steep, with progressive conservatives enjoying a healthy lead in the polls. The NDP a distant third behind the leaderless Liberals. Stiles has been trying to chip away, focusing on potential preferential treatment by the Minister of Labour in handing out Skills Development Fund grants.
It's outrageous. I've never seen anything like it.
Needling at the Premier, who used to rail against the government gravy train.
And now he's conducting it. You know, toot toot, all aboard.
Stiles says that frustration is genuine.
I see government programs that are set up to do great things, like train people for jobs that we need and that they need, going to increasingly insiders, donors to the Conservative Party.
She's frustrated, too, by what she sees as a government without spark.
During the election, it was like, you know, Team Canada, all in, elbows up, let's go. Where is that? Where did it go?
With 1,000 workers at Algoma Steel soon to be laid off, an uncertain future for auto workers, Stiles says Ontario should be looking at taking a stake in key companies and industries.
Other provinces do it. We have done it in Ontario before. We have saved jobs. We have saved mills. We could be doing that right now.
To light a brighter path for 2026 and beyond. Siobhan Morris, CTV News.
The federal politics now, where a new poll finds the Liberals and Conservatives in a virtual tie for voter support heading into the new year. According to the Liaison Tracking Survey, which polled 1,000 Canadians, the Liberals gained 1% support, rising to 39% nationally. Support for the Conservatives is down 1% to 37% overall. The 2-point gap falls within the margin of error, which is just over 3%, meaning the parties are in a statistical tie. Meanwhile, the federal NDP dropped by a single point to 11% support. Prime Minister Mark Carney has an approval rating of 56%.
Page, got a slap pass it back, and Leonard McKenna looks back across, they score!
Well, coming up on CTV News at 5, hockey dominating the holidays. The World Juniors are on with Team Canada looking for another win tonight. And here's what you need to know. The Ottawa 67s will be taking on the Guelph Storm tomorrow. Puck drop is 3 p.m. at TD Place Arena. Time now for a full look at the forecast. It has been quite a day and will continue to be a very interesting week as we take a look through our Centennial Glass Skycam right now. We have just slipped below the freezing mark. It is -1 out there right now. It is going to get quite a bit colder this week as we take a look at your conditions right now, and you can see a lot of that rain that moved through in the form of freezing rain earlier pushing off to the side, and flurries overnight and into tomorrow is what we can expect, with some colder temperatures than what we warmed up to today. So you're looking at -14 with those flurries overnight right here in Ottawa. A chance of flurries tomorrow as well. -10 will be your daytime high, quite a gap from the -1 that we are at right now. As we take a look at how things will fare in the valley tonight, -16. Those winds are going to be a factor just about everywhere in our region, looking at 30K overnight, 40K tomorrow, with -11 and a chance of flurries for your daytime conditions along the Seaway. -13, again, some pretty high winds tonight, a chance of flurries, and a slightly warmer high tomorrow of -8. Your 5-day forecast is looking like this. So very cold temperatures through the next few days. A 40% chance of flurries tomorrow, -10 for the high. Look at the overnight lows when you get into Wednesday as we inch toward the end of the year. A mix of sun and cloud, -11 for the high, but -22, that overnight low. And then Thursday, a mix of sun and cloud, -13, -18. Your overnight low. So a cold start to 2026. You will have sunshine on Friday at -9. But again, those overnight lows staying quite chilly out there. Surely the canal has got to be opening very, very soon. We want to take a look at the stories you are checking out right now on ctvnewsottawa.ca. And of course, the weather is a big one out there. People wanting to find out what is next as the freezing rain warning ends. But we do have that special weather statement in effect because of high winds tonight into tomorrow in our area. A lot of people clicking on that. Want to remind you about the Senators game, delayed by 30 minutes if you are heading there. We have all the information as to why. Our interview coming up at 6 o'clock, end of your interview with the police chief. This is getting a lot of attention as well. So many flu cases in the Outaouais that non-urgent patients are being redirected from ERs in Western Quebec. All of that information online for you right now on our website. Coming up here on CTV News at 5, mission accomplished. We'll tell you about the holiday campaign that reached its goal on behalf of many of our four-legged friends. And here's what you need to know. Tomorrow is the last day to take in a country Christmas at Saunders Farm. The experience offers a walkabout where you may spot an elf or two. There are also ornament workshops and cookie classes. Tickets are available on the Saunders Farm website. And today's cheapest gas price can be found at the Esso and Circle K on March Road in Canada, $1.03.9 a litre. As we take a live look at the roads out there tonight, and again, the conditions are not ideal, although it is better than what you saw in the early morning commute this morning. You want to watch out for wind and snow squalls potentially affecting your visibility. The good news is the volume is pretty light this evening. You're going to have the colder temperatures on the way tomorrow.
Get the latest live local breaking news. Sign up now for our morning and evening CTV News Ottawa newsletter. The best local content from CTV News, Your Morning Ottawa, and News Talk 580 CFRA. Get it all in one place. Sign up now at ctvnewsottawa.ca. The CTV News Ottawa newsletter is brought to you in part by CAA Business.
The most important part of any journey is to arrive safely. Hi, I'm Patricia Bowl.
And I'm Stefan Keys from CTV. Distracted or impaired driving can have devastating consequences.
Hey, it's Ashley.
And Gord from Ottawa's Pure Country 94.
Always plan for a designated driver, and please keep your phone down.
Everyone can help keep communities safe.
Drive safe. Brought to you by the Ottawa Safety Council. For more information on road safety programs and services, visit ottawasafetycouncil.ca.
And taking a live look through our Centennial Glass Skycam, it is -1 in the capital right now. Here's what we're working on for 6 o'clock. The freezing rain is over, but strong winds are going to be a factor this evening. Environment Canada has put Eastern Ontario on notice. A special weather statement is in effect.
We're planning to fly to Los Angeles for the break, and both our flights have been delayed.
The post-Christmas travel period taking a hit from the weather. Both the airport and train station authorities saying there could be delays, but they're working to get things back on track as soon as possible.
The budget that we've put forward, we're certainly pleased that we'll be able to deliver on a number of our key initiatives.
Plus a sit down with Ottawa's police chief. We take a look back at the year that was and the year to come. Join us for a thorough conversation with Chief Eric Stubbs at 6 o'clock. Well, now the final 5 other stories we are following. With the new year just a few days away, some very brave swimmers are planning to ring in 2026 with a polar plunge. And researchers are taking a closer look at the potential impacts of cold water exposure.
The biggest evidence really is for muscle improvement and athletic recovery after a hard workout.
The research team at NII Health examined the health effects of cold plunges. Their findings indicating cold exposure has a strong correlation with supporting athletic recovery. They are also advising anyone participating in a cold plunge to make sure they have the ability to warm up immediately afterwards. Well, if you're looking to warm up with coffee, you've likely noticed it has been costing you more. New data suggests coffee drinkers across the country may be spending more money to make a fresh cup of joe. The Stats Canada data finding Canadian shoppers paid nearly 28% more for coffee at grocery stores in November compared with last year. Experts are linking the rising cost of coffee beans to climate change, crop diseases, and drought.
Page, kind of slap pass it back of Anders McKenna, looks back across, they score!
Team Canada will be back on the ice this evening at the World Junior Hockey Championship, looking for a third straight win to start the tournament. Team Canada is coming off a 2-0 overtime victory over Latvia on Saturday. That win avenged a shootout loss to Latvia in last year's tournament. Puck drop for tonight's game against Denmark is set for 8:30 Eastern. The Ontario SPCA is celebrating a major milestone. The organization says it met its Home for the Holidays adoption campaign goal, helping more than 500 animals to find homes across the province. The campaign, which ran from December 1st to the 24th, focused on finding families for animals of all ages, including senior pets. The SPCA says 688 animals were placed in new homes, but it is also encouraging those looking for a pet to continue to consider adoption. Look at those faces. How could you not? If you're thinking about new movies, here's what's topping the box office. Avatar: Fire and Ash dominated ticket sales over the busy holiday weekend, earning an estimated $88 million. Marty Supreme came in second, racking in $27 million in ticket sales. The release of the newest Avatar movie also gave fans a glimpse at theatrical releases of teasers to Marvel's upcoming blockbuster Avengers: Doomsday. That is CTV News at 5. I'm Patricia Bowl. Be sure to join me for CTV News at 6 o'clock. The early edition of CTV National News with Heather Butts starts right now.